Hello, nation, and welcome to another edition of DCU Tonight, the show where we talk about DCUO, DC Comics, and DCTV. Here live on VAR Nation, I'm your host, Rock VAR, on the couch with the Paula Kent. Glad you could join us. We've got a lot to talk about. Didn't get to do a show Friday of last week because I was exhausted. And this is horrible. I'm about to say it. Because it's not DC related, it's Marvel related. Oh, Lyda just cringed. But Daredevil hit Netflix last week, and that became my life for the entire weekend. So I have now completed season 2. That and Pee-wee. Pee-wee's new movie, Pee-wee's Big Holiday, is on Netflix as well. And it was phenomenal. I am a huge Pee-wee fan. I always have been since as a kid when I watched it, you know, like everyone does, I hope. And not so much a fan of the movies. I watched them, but I was too young when I watched them the first time. And so to watch it again as an adult, I now got the jokes, but then I didn't. So I had like this lifetime of just kind of being naive about what was going on in the movies. But this movie, in my opinion, the best one yet. I hope he makes more. I really, and if Judd Apatow is going to write it or direct it, it'll be just as phenomenal. Because you could, I mean, it was just watch it for yourself. I'm going to stop talking about Pee-wee now. The show is DCU Tonight, and we've got a lot going on this week in DCUO. Episode 23 just hit test servers, PC test. And they sent the tweet out, I think, yesterday saying that it's live on PC test. If you have a PC and you want to download the test client, it is absolutely free. You can jump onto the test server and check out episode 23 ahead of time. If you can't, we're going to walk you through what's happening in that episode, which should be launching early April, I would guess. But we'll do some research and find out for sure exactly when. I'm not sure they've stated. But we're going to go to DCUniverseOnline.com in the early part of the show, and we're going to read the letter that was put up in the forums by the creative director, our creative director, SJ, Nerd of Prey. So we'll go and do that in just a moment. But first, this is not an announcement. It's just the fact that this week, ladies and gentlemen, is Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. This is the week where I find out, am I going to be depressed for another 4 years? Or however many years it's been since Man of Steel? I don't know. As long as there's no neck snapping, I think we'll be alright in this movie. Everything's looking good. Everything's looking alright. I tell you what, when Lyda just gave me the look of she knows what I'm talking about, but so it hurts my soul every time I see like a kid at the store come up and they're buying a Man of Steel something. It doesn't hurt my soul all that much, but I just watch them go and I pay close attention because I'm thinking to myself, that's a future neck snapper. I gotta keep my eyes on that kid. I'm joking. I'm just playing. Anyway, but I'm gonna see the movie. I hope you do too. I'm definitely gonna support in theaters. We've got plans to see it, and we will most definitely review it. Be prepared for how that conversation's going to go. It can go, it can be really, really good, and I can be really, really happy about it, or you're going to hear me be really sour. So I'll keep it professional on the show, but probably not in other YouTube rants that I would do on my own personal channel. I don't know. We'll find out. But for now, we're going to assume this is going to be the greatest movie of all time and be excited about it. Gail Gadot, is that her name? Gadot, am I saying that right? I think I'm just going to go with that. That's what her name is now, Gail Gadot. She looks phenomenal as Wonder Woman. I think she's going to do a really, really good job. I've got a picture of, they had the screening already, and there was a picture in there of the whole crew. Easy, he's about to capitalize. capitalize on the I am Batman fame, but just Henry Cavill and I can never remember her name. Amy Adams, Lida tells me. I just remember her as the fat girl from Smallville. Like, remember that she just had that, she was a, she was plus size, and her encounter with it was Green Kryptonite, right? Green Kryptonite on Smallville made her lose weight. I think it was she started mixing it into her shakes, like her supplement shakes that she was drinking, and it made her lose tons and tons of weight. But it also made her super, super hungry, and so then she ended up sucking the fat out of people, didn't she? Like, she literally, her mouth got larger, and she literally sucked the fat out of people until they were just skin and bones. And that's how I remember Amy Adams every time I see her. Lida likes her as Amelia Earhart. Um, I like her as Amelia Earhart too. I thought she did a really good job. I actually thought that she did a better Lois Lane as Amelia Earhart than she did trying to play Lois Lane. That was my own personal opinion, because when they announced that she was going to play Lois, Amelia Earhart is what actually popped into my head, and I thought to myself, damn, she could be a really good Lois Lane. But it would be like, you know, we're going down to get the story, Perry, kind of Lois Lane, like the the 30s or whatever Lois Lane. She could do that absolutely. I would love to see. So here's what I want to see now: the next Man of Steel movie. Lois and Clark go back in time, and Lois has to infiltrate the Daily Planet as a news reporter, and she has to be all 30s-ish. That's where, forget all this Justice League and Wonder Woman and Flash. That's all nonsense. We're going to go see late 30s Superman. That's what I would want to see. I want the next Superman movie to be a period piece, and I want it to be actually set in the time period when Superman was introduced in comics, and see that version of the hero. Nobody's done that yet. That would be like groundbreaking. That's what directors always want. They want to be groundbreaking, and that would be groundbreaking if they would do something absolutely just unique. But it's not unique. It's going back to the beginning. Superman can't fly. He can leap small buildings in a single bound. He's not as fast as the speed of light, but he is faster than a speeding bullet. That would be a good story. If they really, really want to make, because that was the goal, I guess, with Man of Steel, was to humanize Superman. If you really want to humanize Superman, take him back to his roots. But I'm telling you what, there's going to be a lot of eating cherry pie. There's going to be a lot of calling police officers Mr. and Sir. We're not going to have all this crazy destroying cities that they had in Man of Steel. And that's why they think people don't want to see a movie like that. I personally would. We were shopping online yesterday for... I just want to personally reach out to DC Comics right now. I want to reach out to DC Comics right now via my YouTube channel, and I want to say to you people, I love you, okay? That's where I want to start with this conversation. I love each and every one of you. I've watched their, we've watched them start. We watched them get their start, for God's sakes. We knew, well, we personally didn't, but as a society, we knew Jeff Johns when he was, nothing more than an intern to Richard Donner. And look what he's done with his life. I mean, I'm not that's like that a lowly intern. I'm just saying that guy has worked his way up to get to where he is in DC Comics today. He's crazy talented as far as writing stories. Jim Lee, ridiculously talented artist. I knew that, but I didn't know that until I started following him on Twitter, because he will do sketches, and he'll just take pictures of himself doing sketches. And it's just like he's sitting at home, playing with his kids, watching TV, drawing Batman. And the picture that he's drawing is just, it blows your mind. It's your eyes popping out of your head at how awesome it is. The guy's just insanely talented. So I love you guys. I love them to death. The whole crew over there, even Dan Didio, who I yeah, you too, Dan. You're but it's hard now because you've taken the trunks off Superman, and it's been kind of, maliciously done. And now, when my child is born, and the whole reason that this is coming up is because we were shopping for baby clothes last night, shopping for what we want, after our little one's born, what we want to bring them home from the hospital in. And so, I brought up something because every outfit we found that was cool looking, that looked like something we'd want to buy and have our kid come home in, did not have the freaking red trunks. And I don't want my baby to grow up in a world where it's odd when they see Superman in the red trunks. That's bullshit, man. That's not what I want out of life. It should be odd when you see him with the trunks off. So at least don't poison our youth with this non-trunked Superman. Because I feel like that's the end game for DC Comics right now. If they make baby clothes not have the trunks, those kids grow up thinking Superman isn't supposed to have trunks. By the time they're my age, no one even remembers it. Don't do this to me, people. All right, I'm done. That was fun though, right? Kinda. I don't know. But anyway, damn yous all. No, don't damn you, because you guys have, as a group, this crew, this this group that's come up in DC Comics and now pretty much the regime there, they have put DC Comics on the map again. They really, really have. So I don't think it'd be as popular right now, honestly. I'm not crediting the New 52 for anything. I think still that was a horrible idea. But as far as their advertising and the things that they've greenlit, the work they've done with TV shows, these guys have really put DC Comics on the forefront for a generation. So I think they've done a phenomenal job. And I feel a slight heart attack coming on, so I'm going to stop talking about not having the trunks on Superman. Is there such thing as a slight heart attack? Or are they all just, bad? There's no such thing as a good heart attack ever. But I do have Lois to the left of me, Wonder Woman to the right. I'm stuck in the middle with Hughes, Superman, and Batman. Read something yesterday that was interesting to me, and I did not know. You may or may not know this. Because we don't have cable. So we don't watch television on television. So we did not watch the Super Bowl. But apparently during the Super Bowl there were commercials for an airline in which they acted as though Metropolis and Gotham were real places, and that they were places that you could fly on their airlines. And when they did that, they did a phony travel guide for each city that they put at different airports to advertise. And inside those, I don't know what you call them. I just said it, but I'm thinking too fast to go back. Inside those tour guides, or whatever, guides, there was a lot of information about various places inside the cities, which gave us some information about who exists in this reality. Because we've speculated at this point who's going to be the who, and so now we know there are several players on the Batman side of things that have existed. One of those is Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson is mentioned not by name but by his family. There's a story in there about the circus incident. Hush was one that I was kind of shocked at. They mentioned Hush's dad, actually. But there was a bunch of information on that really will clue us in a little bit before we get into the theater and find out, how this has happened. The big thing the major thing that interested me was they alluded to the fact that Batman has many times passed the cowl on they are assuming, and this may or may not be the original Bruce Wayne. I'm sure it is. Maybe it is. It could be Hush, but I'm thinking that at this point maybe Dick had taken up the mantle and then passed it back. You know what I mean? Like maybe they passed it off because there's been several times in the comics when that's had to happen, and that could give us some information as far as where are we at in this world. Because now we're looking at DCTV and we see that, you know, we've got the Flash getting ready to be on Supergirl. There's getting ready to be a Flash Supergirl crossover. So that means to me that, you know, Superman's in the picture in that Flash's world. We're going to have an entirely different Barry Allen in the Justice League movies. And so this is obviously a different reality than the one that's unfolding on DCTV. Is it a parallel universe? We don't know. Has Infinite Crisis happened in this timeline? And that's why all this is this actually, are we actually watching the New 52 happen? Is this just a reboot of something that's already supposedly happened in another reality, and they're going to show both sides of the coin? One on DCTV, one in the movies? I don't know, but that would be awesome. I would watch it. But the reason that we're all here, DCUO, the reason we have a show to begin with, DCUO, is introducing a new episode coming up probably early next month, episode 23, and we're going to go to DCUniverseOnline.com and read some of. I want you to go read it, get some traffic to their website, but we're going to read some of SJ's letter that she put up about what's coming in that episode. So I'm going to head on over there right now, DCUniverseOnline.com, all spelled out. You can join me there, or you can check it out after you listen or watch the... there's really not much watching to this show because I don't do much of anything but talk. So when you're done listening to the podcast, you can go over there and check it out for yourself. But in episode 22, it looks like General Zod and his followers escaped from the Phantom Zone. Lois Lane then tracked his Kryptonian forces to Lex Luthor's Science Spire in Metropolis, and there discovered what they were after, the secret coordinates to Brainiac's bottle ship. So we are going to try and bottle ship. This is a new 8-player raid. I thought it was an operation. It is not. It is a raid. Thank goodness. Not because I don't like operations, but because sometimes it just takes a while to figure out what the heck you're supposed to be doing. So Zod wants those coordinates, and he'll do whatever it takes to get them, she says, including using the Science Spire's enormous laser on the city of Metropolis. Superman and Lex Luthor are sending teams to get Zod out of the Spire and back under control, and you're up. So it looks like heroes and villains are trying to stop this from happening, and it would make sense because villains aren't going to want to... You can't really be a villain to a city that's leveled. This wouldn't be a problem in the Man of Steel verse. Because Superman would just go... It all goes back to Superman would just go snap Zod's neck. What's going on, DCUO? Why haven't you guys got with the program? Don't do it, please. I love DCUO because they don't do stuff like that. But they have a much... when you're doing a movie, I guess you can put a rating on it. DCUO, it wants to be for a wide range of players. There are very young kids playing this game, and keep that in mind when you're playing this game, people. If you're in a alert or an operation or whatever, or just playing in the open world, keep in mind that like the person who you're getting bitterly angry at and shouting obscenities at in chat could be a very young child. There's like 10-year-olds. There's actually someone that was like 10 in our league, right? We had several young kids in our league. So, and that's why we try to keep our league chat clean as possible, because you never know who's going to be reading. Rule of thumb, unless you're in a private chat, you never know who's going to be reading. But anyway, Supergirl's on the way with her own vested interest in the location of the bottle ship, so she'll be by your side as you confront General Zod. Then things get really interesting, but I don't want to spoil it for you, she says. Speaking of intergalactic threats of incredible magnitude, The Will of Darkside. The Will of Darkside. So, the new 2-player duo, The Will of Darkside. Let's go back to that 8-player raid. Supergirl has her own interest. Is she wanting to get back to Kandor to see if her parents are alive? Is that what that's about? They're not. I told her that already. Well, I mean, Rock did, because that's where he came from, the Bottle City of Kandor. Brainiac destroyed it. And I came back in time to save it. So, not sure what you're doing, Supergirl. Well, I guess we should go do that, huh? So in this timeline, my parents are still... Holy crap! In this timeline, my parents are still alive. If they put Thera Jimsy in there, I'm going to be very happy. If they just put Thera in there, I'm not going to be so happy. Because that's my sister, really. That's the alternate me. Actually, she took my place. See, in the Silver Age, Thera Jimsy was the wife, and so I assumed that she had a child, and it would be Rockvar. But then they rebooted the whole thing and made it that there was no Thera Jimsy. Thera was the daughter, and so I guess that would mean she's an alternate me. She's the female Rockvar. So they definitely can't hook up because that would be weird. It would be really weird. So we'll see what her interest is. The other thought that came to mind was that she just wanted to get on Brainiac's ship to try and somehow get in contact with Brainiac 5. That's the Kryptonian shuffle. New 8-player raid. Or no, we already read that one. Down to the duo. The new 2-player duo, The Will of Darkside. The Will of Darkside is revealed. While off-world seeking information about Apocalypse, Superman has discovered that the forces of Darkseid are gathering an invasion force on the surface of New Genesis. Parademons are lining up in ranks to invade. Superman asks that you help the locals defend their homes while the new gods of New Genesis are busy elsewhere preparing a counterattack. Lex Luthor enters the scene for the villains. Curious if working with Darkseid is even worth the investment, he will quickly form an opinion. So are the villains going to be opposing us? You know what I think would be really neat in DCUO? This is just something I would like to see happen in the game. Not that I would necessarily enjoy this, but I think it makes sense. At some point, there needs to be a conflicting story arc where we're trying to stop something and they're trying to do something, and it results in a PvP battle. Now, I know that's what PvP kind of is already, but I want to see it start in PvE. So there has to be a PvE portion of it until it leads up to the final battle. So, like, say the third boss would be a PvP event that you're going in and you're fighting head to head. Superman may be leading the heroes. Lex Luthor may be leading the villains. At the end of it, Superman and Lex Luthor are focusing on each other, and we fight the other players. I think that would be kind of neat. I'd at least try it. Rewards, so that's what everybody wants to know. It's the final month of this 3-month cycle, so it's time to get those rings, neck, weapons, trinket, and the latest utility belt, and of course new feats, new collections, new collection rewards, some really cool new base items, and a new necklace of omnipotence in Brainiac's bottle ship. So a new OP necklace. That's cool. We haven't had one of those in a while. Well, yeah, we have. It was like I think it was a ring last time too. Episode 23 will be moving to the test server today. It was on the test server yesterday. It's planned to launch in April, so it's probably going to be like right around the 6th. Whatever that Tuesday of that week will be, because it was the 7th of March. So I'm guessing it'll be like the 7th or 8th of April to launch that. Maybe they'll do something funny and do an April Fool's, and April 1st say it's going to be on this date. And then when that date comes, be like, it was an April Fool's joke. I don't know. But you can read more about that on DCUniverseOnline.com. Maybe the 5th, probably the 6th, maybe 5th or 6th, something like that. But we'll keep you posted. If we see it there, we will let you know. So that pretty much wraps up the DCUO news. You can see that I'm sporting my L Family crest here, the new emblem. You can change the colors of it. We went through this in a previous show, so if you're new to DCU tonight, check out the channel that you're watching, VAR Nation. There will be some details about these emblems, but yeah, thought I would break out my new superhero costume for the show tonight. This is my new mainstay look. It's kind of my Kryptonian, my version of Superman's costume. I would wear the trunks, but it really doesn't go with this belt, and I need this belt on. So, you know, whatever. But now, because we've talked about the last DCTV we watched, we are going to move on to DC Comics. We've only got about 15 minutes until Batman v Superman, Gotham or Supergirl. Which one do you watch? Both air at 8 o'clock on separate channels. We have this happening in 15 minutes. It's Batman v Superman Family. Actually, it's Batman v the Superman Family. So I don't know. Whichever one you watch, that's your choice. I would probably move towards Supergirl. Martian Manhunter just came out, so we're going to probably get some more Martian Manhunter stuff this week. And we're building up to a crossover with Supergirl and The Flash, so you definitely want to watch that. So we're going to move over to DC Comics, and I just want to talk about something that I noticed this the other day at where I work. I did not know, I don't work at Walmart, so I didn't think this was exclusive to Walmart because I saw this where I work, which is, again, not Walmart. Doritos is teaming up with Walmart to extend the excitement around Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice into the digital space. Now, this is not a new story. This was actually put out there February 29th, so you may actually know this. If you've bought any Doritos, you've seen that you can get a Batman v Superman version, Batman or Superman. The same can be said for, there's a cereal now. There's just all kinds of stuff happening with BVS. But what's happening is you can get access to a DC Comics digital comic that is an exclusive. It's a Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice upstairs/downstairs. It's a 24-page digital comic from writers Christos Gage, penciler Joe Bennett, inker Sean Parsons, and colorist Hi-Fi Studios. They just credit the whole studio now? And it's inspired by Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, which is in theaters March 25th. The graphics, illustrations, and content are never before seen and feature Batman, Superman, and the unveiling of the Man of Steel's new statue in Metropolis. In addition to the custom comic, the purchase of the specially marked Family Fun Mix multi-pack will give shoppers 3 bonus entries into the National Choose Your Side, Choose Your Prize program, which I've already done. You can do that by just going to DCComics.com, and there's actually, well, no, it's not the same contest. I registered for a chance to see Batman v Superman tonight. Oh, crap, that was tonight. So there was a contest for select movie theaters, the IMAX thing. You had to pick your IMAX, and I live very far away from an IMAX. But that was today, and I never did check to see my email. I'm going to check that. If I find out I won that, I'm going to be so pissed that I didn't get to go, because this would be awesome to see in an IMAX theater. But it says how it works. Purchase Doritos Batman v Superman Family Fun Mix. Go to Doritos.com and choose your side. Are you Team Batman or Team Superman? Register and submit your unique one-package code. Instantly receive a code to unlock your free DC digital comic on readdcentralreaddcentertainment.com/redeem. So this is something that is, I don't know if it's a prequel to the movie. I don't know if it's a, something that's happening off camera that takes place during the movie, but this is going to be some footage, quotation marks, that you can't see anywhere else, and that is only available through Doritos, through apparently Walmart. I've seen these bags where I work and the code's there, so I don't know. I think maybe it's grown much larger than Walmart at this point. But I wanted to bring that to the attention of those who are fans, because you may want to go ahead and get that. It's, I love Doritos, so it's kind of like, it feels like it's free, just because there's always going to be Doritos in my house. But that's it. No hashtag DCTV secrets, because the episodes start airing tonight. Again, we've got Supergirl and Gotham tonight. We've got Flash tomorrow, Arrow back Wednesday, and DC's Legends tomorrow, Thursday. So this is a start of a full week in DC TV. I do not yet know. Yes, I do. I will be able to do the show Wednesday, and I should be able to do the show Friday, unless I'm just exhausted from work that day. So we should have DCU tonight, Wednesday, and Friday. So we'll talk about the shows. I encourage you to go to KryptonSite.com and check out the forums there. You can get into the countdown forums and the live discussion threads during each of those shows, and enjoy some friendly fan talk while you're hanging out. Definitely go to DCUniverseOnline.com and play the game for free if you don't play already. If you do, hope to see you in the game. The pull list this week for DC Comics: Batman number 50, Wonder Woman number 50, and Batman Volume 8 Super Heavy all are available now. So you can check out the pull list. I am quickly going to go over to YouTube, because we have some people in chat, and I want to say hello before we end the show. We've got about 9 minutes until DC TV starts to air, and I want to cut you guys. I want to leave you time to get get over there and watch some DC TV. So, DCUO guy, good to see you again. Thanks for joining the stream. Wayne Creary, hello. Glad to see you again this week. Fantastic Squid, hello. I think this is the first time that we've met you, so thanks for joining the stream this week. And thanks to everybody out there who watches, share, and like if you can. Definitely, if you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, it helps us out a lot. We hope to make a go of this thing. So, but until then, we enjoy every minute of just, spilling our DC guts. That's pretty much what we do. We talk about how DCUO, DC Comics, and DC TV affect our lives, and we hope that, either for better or worse, we hope that DC can affect the lives of many, many to come for generations. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, because we've got shows to watch. But thanks again for joining us. This has been DCU Tonight. I'm your host, Rock Var, and for Hippolyta Kent, I'm saying peace out.